Hello, probers.
Howdy, howdy.
Welcome back to But It Was Alien.
Yeah.
And if this is your first time, welcome to you too.
Hello.
We are two former MIBs who take it in turns each week to bring you, the people, the truth about extraterrestrial activity. I am your host for this week's entry into the Probe Files, Moonwalker, the Walker of Moons, and perched opposite me is Kevin the Grey. He is grey, he has a grey beard, and he may very well be a grey.
What type of grey?
A standard type of grey.
Yeah, is that like the grey wizard or the grey alien?
Alien. That's a good point, actually. Didn't dawn on me. Just assumed alien. Touché. This week, we are looking at Portals. Not the great game that was released back on October 10th, 2007.
The cake is a lie, bitch!
Which introduced one of the greatest weapons known to man, the portal gun.
GLaDOS?
But we are looking into portals which can transport inanimate objects or even people to another location. Whether it's within the same room, house, town, city, state, country, world, or even universe.
But what?
Fucking chair is winding me up.
But what about time?
Oh, that's a different story.
Time slippers.
I'm going to buy a new chair.
It's good. They're more expensive than you realise, office chairs.
I know. The year is 1979.
Is that because we've slipped?
The month is September.
Nah.
And the day, I have no idea about. Turner.
Bootstrap Bill Turner.
Harry
Fuck.
Turner is a long-haul truck driver. Mr. Turner was tired, physically. So Mr. Turner had decided to get himself some shut-eye.
A little nap.
Whilst asleep, he may have been having dreams about sheep jumping fences, a man on the moon, or another man pouring sand in his eyes.
Are these all dreams you've had?
Whatever it was he was dreaming about, he was suddenly awoken from it with a startle. Mr. Turner, aka Harry, looked outside his truck into the parking lot in which he was situated. The problem he found with this is that he had no recollection. No recollection, Kevin, of how he got there. Can you imagine that? Waking up and having no idea how the funk you got somewhere. I can imagine that, personally, thanks to many nights out on the Source.
Mr. Moonwalker has put some images in the research notes of me and Mr. Moonwalker on the Source. So the image you're showing me on the right, I look like Pete Doherty in his prime. My gosh.
You do.
I've got one eye in one county, one eye in another. A top hat on?
Yeah.
In fact, we've both got top hats on.
Yep.
Your tongue has turned into a pipe. I look frickin'... That doesn't even look like me.
I think we went out as old-timey gangsters that night. There was a group of them.
Yeah, okay.
This chair is going to be the death of me.
Just leave it down.
I can't.
The Mibs are like, stop touching the chair.
I know I'm in distress.
One day you've got to turn those notifications off. What's the other photo from? I don't remember that.
It's definitely a walk home.
Yeah, I mean, there's a traffic code involved. I just don't remember when it was. Or where that is.
I've got no idea.
That looks
I know
like
where
it's
that
near...
is.
Yeah, I know where that is. Don't know when that is.
Me neither. I think at that point...
Lost time.
Early 20s.
Yeah.
Because I've got a necklace on. I haven't worn a necklace for fucking years.
Me neither. That's weird, that is, isn't it? I used to wear a ring and a necklace.
I had 13 piercings.
Yeah. Just
I
don't
have
give a
none
crap
of them
now.
Yeah.
Getting old.
But an abundance of tattoos.
All I wear now is a watch, and that's because I like notifications to vibrate and not make sound. On my wrist.
So Turner sat there deep in contemplation, wondering how in the funk he had gotten there, when he noticed by his side his trusty handgun, Steve.
What?
Beside both him and Steve were 8 empty shells.
Oh shit.
Seeing these shells beside him sent the memories of what happened to him flooding back, like that moment the day after a heavy night of drinking when all the "oh no, I didn't do that" moments come back to you.
Oh.
What came flooding back was Turner driving along the highway travelling from Winchester to Fredericksburg, Virginia. Turner remembers being the only vehicle on the road when a strange bright light started to head towards him. It wasn't going at the speed of a normal vehicle on the road, but much, much faster. All of a sudden, the truck was adorned inside with a white light.
Ooh.
Turner, whose hands were gripped firmly on the wheel, was unable to move it.
The inside of the truck adorned with a white light, like your birthday episode. Do you remember that video?
Yeah.
Where the light flashed in that car? Woo! I was going to ask you something. Excluding sexual escapades, what is the worst "oh no I didn't" moment that has come back to you after a night out? Can you think of anything? Excluding the naughty stuff. Because we don't want to embarrass you.
Is this remembering or being told?
Both, actually. Because I've asked that question and I've struggled to think of anything myself.
Yeah. I know why you're struggling. They're all sexual.
That's why you're struggling.
Mine would have to be a house party when I was 19. I think I've told this story before, where I got ridiculously drunk on Bacardi. Now that's like not Bacardi breezes, but Bacardi rum.
Bacardi, yeah.
I drank
White rum or...
Yeah.
Oh.
3 litres. 3/4 of a litre bottle.
3 shots.
And I had to get picked up by my mum and her other half. But when I woke up the next day, I had no recollection of it. But then a friend and I went to Norfolk that day. Mm-hmm. And then throughout that day, just bits of the night kept coming back to me. And while we were driving home, I had an itch on my nose, went to scratch it, and my hand just dropped. And I couldn't control my hand or move it, and had trapped a nerve between the bones in my arm by falling down the stairs and into a radiator. I was
Had you though?
Gone.
Or is that you being taken over by the spirits who were trying to do some automatic writing?
Well, that's what I was told.
That was the spirits, I reckon.
You haven't said yours.
The only thing that was coming to me is when...
Dick in the face.
Excuse me? No.
Sorry.
I had moved back in with my parents after leaving the place I used to live. Broke up with a girlfriend. I was working like from 7 in the morning until 9 in the evening on Saturdays. I would come home, pick you up on my way home and whatnot. No, it was a really, really busy day. I hadn't eaten all day. We partied a bit too hard.
Sauce, yep.
I got the most drunk I've ever been in my life, and was leaning outside after we left. I think you lot thought I was chatting to a lamppost because I was just talking whilst leaning against a lamppost. I wasn't chatting to the lamppost because that's the only bit I can remember. I was talking to you guys. You just were far too far away from me to realise I was talking to you. But you and our other friend carried me home, basically. And put me in my bed at home. Literally put me in my bed. And my mum came out of her bedroom, just saw you and our friend, two very big black gentlemen on the stairs, and shit her pants.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's really coming to mind. And our other friend became Billy Big Bollocks, didn't he? And he was like, I can drink more than you. Not realising the context behind why I was so drunk is because I had just been so busy at work and hadn't eaten all day. And so we went drink for drink the next week and he did the exact same thing. I think, was that the night he threw the cheeseburger at our other friend?
Yes.
He was really, really drunk.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. He partied too hard that night, bless him.
He partied too hard the last time we saw him as well.
He parties too hard often. Good times.
I remember walking back home and he just started running.
You were walking home with him. Yeah. Just suddenly, just the two of you. You were filming it. He just suddenly started running. Why?
He was like walking all over the place. He couldn't like control himself. And then all of a sudden he just starts legging it. Like, what are you doing? And he's just gone. Well, Turner was sat in the seat of his truck. If this was me, I'd probably be crapping my pants or would probably pass out due to shock. Whereas you would probably do the quadruple. Piss, shit, puke, pass out.
Quad myself.
Whilst Turner was sat at the wheel, the truck door flew open like a powerful being had opened it from the outside. This wasn't all. Turner could feel a presence or sensation press against his shoulder, as if it was holding him in place. But as we well know, you can hold someone in place, but if they do bicep curls, they have the advantage. And it was due to the power of the curls that Turner was able to lift his hand with his trusty friend Stephen and fire all 8 rounds. After he did that, the presence against him was gone, but the fear and confusion had got to him, and he did what I probably would have done and passed out.
Are you using this as an excuse for every time you've passed out?
No. Alcohol is the reason I generally passed out.
So he fired at a presence he hasn't actually seen what he's firing at?
Nope, just fired in the general direction of this presence on his shoulder.
That's pretty dangerous, isn't it?
Very dangerous.
It could have hit anyone. Oh, Turner is a risky individual.
When Turner awoke in the parking lot, his watch was showing just after 11 p.m. But the clock on the wall of the warehouse said something different. It read 3 a.m.
Last time, baby!
Can you believe it, Kevin the Grey? Missing time.
I don't believe it.
I think everyone should take a shot. That includes us. If I'm not fucked from the birthday shots, which I'm not. So let's do one. However, we didn't do shots, so we're going to pour a cock. Kevin's going to split that cock down the middle.
You should probably add context to this. We've got a little bit out of sync with our episodes recently.
Oh, that is a good point.
So we're recording this episode straight after Mr. Moonwalker's birthday episode, which you'll be hearing several weeks back. We're time traveling, baby.
We're time slippers.
There you go. Your cock is ready.
Did you just sip my cock?
Yeah. Cock wasn't bad. Kind of a strawberry twang to it. Oh, I'm going to regret that, though.
Yep.
So what happened?
Now, at the start, I mentioned that Turner was heading from Winchester to Fredericksburg.
Where's that?
Now, this trip... It's Virginia. Now, this trip via road is 81.5 miles. However, Turner's truck would register that he'd only travelled 17 miles.
Ooh, so that means that something or somebody has potentially lifted Turner's truck. How could Turner's truck travel 81.5 miles when it's only travelled 17 miles? Unless
portals, baby.
Oh yeah, it's about portals. Shit. So, as I said, this episode was recorded straight after Granville's birthday episode that you would have heard several weeks ago. Context, baby. So he felt a presence and then went through a portal, potentially, is what we're saying here.
Felt a presence, shot at it, blacked
shot
out,
at it.
and then went for a portal.
So the presence...
He unloaded Steve.
Yeah, he unleashed Steve, released Steve, shot Steve's load.
8 times.
But did the presence intentionally push Turner through the portal, or...
Was it guiding him through it?
Yeah.
Trying to make sure he went through it rather than...
To try and help him. Or was the presence trying to escape the bullets, but Turner followed?
Ooh.
We don't have enough information to determine which outcome is accurate at this moment.
Well, let's label this event truck napping, shall we? So after event truck napping, Turner would experience other strange goings on. Real strange goings on. One night, Turner was feeling sleepy again, so he went to bed. As he lay there looking at the ceiling, he realised he wasn't looking at the ceiling.
What?
He was looking right through it.
Get out of town.
He was able to see the sky and the stars, son. X-ray vision.
Hot damn.
What would you do with X-ray vision? I know exactly where your mind went there.
My mind
Stop
went...
looking under this table.
Whoa, no. I was thinking if you asked most children, adolescent children, that they'd probably go to the locker rooms.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask an adult that, I really hope that's not where they go, and that's why I chuckled. Oh, you've got a picture here of Superman using his X-ray vision on a person who looks like they've got some form of broken spine. Where would I go with X-ray vision? Probably to a casino.
I was going scratch cards.
But when you see through the entire card, not just the scratch.
I was about to say it would depend on the power of the X-ray
vision. Can you
vision.
control the intensity,
Yeah.
I suppose? Because my casino idea is also buggered if you can't. If not, then...
If not, I'd start making bets with people. High stakes bets.
Like...
You put several people behind a wall. I will tell you exactly how many people are there.
That works.
Blah, blah, blah.
See,
for money.
When I just hesitated there, I was thinking maybe I would identify myself to the military to help out with good, like, versus evil kind of battles.
But then you couldn't guarantee what if my military is actually the bad guys. Exactly.
Yeah, so maybe I wouldn't do that. Plus, they might experiment on me in not so nice ways. So I would probably tell nobody, sit in my room and rock backward and forward.
Don't tell me, because the whole time I think you're looking at my junk. Every time you look down, I'm like, hey, I'm up here.
I wouldn't. Or would I?
Yes, you would.
Shit, maybe I would. Not. But I might, though. Oh. You've shown me a picture of Superwoman looking at some titties. Good comic. Supergirl, not Superwoman.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
When he looked at his wife one night as she slept beside him, he was able to see both her vital organs and her skeleton. To him, her skin became translucent. Turner knew within his heart of hearts that this happened as a result of what went down at Napping Truck. As time would pass, more and more memories would come flooding back to him. He had no idea why, but he would become aware of a star system, one we have heard of before, Alpha Centauri.
Ooh. Was that where the Planetarians are from?
Planetarians.
Not the Planetarium, the Planetarians.
Planetarians.
God damn it, I'm not going to get any sense here, am I?
He was also able to remember that there were captors. And these captors were dressed in white, like doctors.
Ooh.
But these fuckers had numbers on their heads. He was
Squid
adamant that this truck had passed through an interdimensional portal. When Turner would refer to his captors, he would call them ultra-terrestrials.
You've put an image on there. Ultra combo. Well, didn't it just go ultra?
Yep.
Ultra
combo.
Killer Instinct.
Yep.
Law's definitely not the right word, but it's what came out of my mouth, so I'm sticking with it.
Spinal.
Sorry, had to come out there. Ultra-terrestrials.
Spinal.
Just
Vulgar.
Orchid was my favourite character in the entire game.
Orchid.
But I don't think any name was said any better than Spinal.
Saber Wolf.
And now every time I hear it, I can't
Spinal
not
was
say
the
it.
one, wasn't it? Cinder. Glacius.
Fulgor.
Fulgor.
Gargos. Spinal.
Spinal was the one. I think you're correct in that assumption, yeah.
Spinal.
Fucking
Night.
great game.
Pardon?
It's a fucking great game. TJ Combo. So Turner.
Hold on. Ultra-terrestrials. We got very Killer Instinct distracted there, going
did.
back to our childhood. Ultra-terrestrials. Are
Ultra
they
terrestrials.
Jago! Are they better than extraterrestrials?
Of course, they're ultras.
So Ultra is better than Extra.
Yep.
Good to know.
Turner would become withdrawn. What was happening to him was starting to affect him mentally. His behaviour would suffer, and he would also begin to have suicidal thoughts. Another thing which was odd is that animals would react oddly when he would approach. Turner was also the focal point of a cross-state police chase one day as he chased down one of the animals. Don't ask questions.
I'm coming back to that if not.
Before we end this event, I'd like to add the fact that Turner is a former Navy serviceman.
He worked on the seas. Yeah, you've stuck an image in here of Bootstrap Bill Turner from the Pirates of the Caribbean/Caribbean franchise. Fine work, Mr. Moonwalker. That needed to be in there.
Since then,
Whoa!
Turner has unfortunately passed away.
Ah. I'll behave myself then, out of respect. So, animals were acting oddly.
They were.
Do we know in what way
No.
the odd was?
We do not.
Were they like humping the legs of everything that went past?
Who's
Were
to
they
say?
walking backwards?
Would you class that as odd behaviour?
Were cats and dogs living together?
Only around him. Remember, this odd behaviour only happened when he approached. So whatever you're thinking your behaviour is, it would only occur when he approached them. If it occurred at any other time, then it's not really the odd behaviour, is it?
Oh no, I've gone cross-eyed. I'm going to go over the corner and get you some orange sherbet. I've got no idea what's happening right now. I need to know how the animals are acting oddly. But more importantly, he chased one down.
The animals of Barbingwood. He did.
It was acting oddly. What was it doing? Like, was it casing a joint? Like, looking around a corner shop, thinking about what it was going to steal.
knows?
And he was like, "I'ma get that fool," and chased down the duck that was...
I was about to say, another thing is we don't even know what type of animal it was that he was chasing.
It was duck.
Duck, duck, goose.
I've told the story before about my nephew in that game, haven't I?
Yep.
Duck. Duck. Masturbation!
Before we conclude on the truck napping event,
Do you know what truck rhymes with?
yes, pencil.
What?
We're going...
Oh, that killed my duck joke.
We're going to hop on home across the pond and visit the Mann family in England 1978.
Hello.
This family has been covered by us in a previous probe, but unfortunately, I cannot remember what fucking episode it is, and it was pissing me off.
Do you want me to find out? Because I've still got the research notes.
It's the one where there's the family, mum, dad, daughter, and the dad's sister, I believe, and you thought they were a couple. There's a moment of them driving down a winding road, and because I know we've covered this before, I'm not going to cover it again. But I'm pretty sure it's one with a bunch of Johns, and I keep making John jokes about how you can't trust an honest John. Johns are honest and trustworthy. We know about honest and trustworthy.
Do you want me to look at if I can find out?
It's fine. So, we shall jump to Virginia 2010, New Hampshire for a bonus story.
Boing, boing, I'm a frog, bitch!
2 local teens were within a parked car when they noticed a strange light darting through the sky in the distance.
What were they doing in the car, Jack?
We all know what 2 teens are doing in the car, Jack. But within seconds, the light had zoomed in directly on them. A strange beam of light shot from the object and hit the car, essentially like an EMP, disabling everything. Scared shitless, they put their foot down, but the car would not move an inch.
God damn it.
The car would then begin to levitate from the ground. Both teens remember looking at each other and screaming at the top of their lungs, but when they later recalled the incident, they said it was silent. Similar to when we were in a small flat with Pez 2016 menu music in the background before everybody lost their shit.
Ah, those were the days. I don't think it was 2016 though.
I think it was Pez 26.
So
Shit, no, it wouldn't have been.
I was living somewhere at that point, and it was 8 years
I'm
prior.
sorry. That's not even that. It's like Pez.
It would have been 2008 to 2010, that 3-year period.
Why is 2016 in my head?
I have no idea.
That'd have been like Pez 2000. Yeah, 2008.
2008, 9, 10, one of those.
Pez 2006 or 7. Because it was FIFA 2006 where the memory card corrupted.
Okay.
And I went mental.
We were young. I still am, but you've got old.
You're older than me. What the fuck are you on about?
Days.
Months.
I ain't never had mumps. What you talk about?
One of the teens heard a strange voice inside his head telling him, "Don't panic. Don't be afraid."
Oh.
The car horn suddenly started to blare out, followed by the vehicle crashing back to the ground. And it hurt inside. As it hit the ground, they bolted. Wheels spinning like a demon before getting the fuck out of there.
Run!
They got home and told their parents everything that happened.
You never tell them everything.
The Popo were called, but do you think they took this incident serious?
Oh, hell no.
No, they didn't. That is, until they went to the location that the teens mentioned and saw secondhand what appeared to be the indentation of the teen's car wheels in the ground as if it had been dropped from a height.
What?
Although they were totally unsure of what exactly had happened, they were very much aware that something odd had happened that night.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Upon inspection of the car, there was zero damage to it, but when they inspected the underside of the car, there was approximately $5,000 worth of damage.
Oh my God.
Do you think we have a conclusion about this account? No, we fucking don't.
Oh.
So this is the part of the probe where we turn to science and skepticism, covering truck napping.
I shouldn't laugh.
I couldn't find any science or skepticism about this case. None.
Huh?
The reason for this is probably because everybody knows that this is true. Or another reason is because this case never got out to the masses or even the ears of the ufologists that we are fully aware of.
Ufologists! Jaffoli!
So to summarise, we have the case of Harry Turner,
Hi, Harry.
who awakens to find himself in a parking lot in
Pirate
his truck.
Harry.
But what was shocking is that he has no memory of getting there.
That was shocking.
He finds his gun unloaded and his memory starts coming back.
He shot his Steve.
He was driving along when a bright light blinded him. His door swung open and he felt a pressure against him, which forced him to unload Steve towards where the pressure was coming from. The pressure ceased and Turner blacked out.
Can't get this pressure point out of my head.
A few months later, he was at home looking at the ceiling when he noticed that he wasn't looking at the ceiling, but through it. Did this event give him X-ray vision? On another occasion, Turner was looking at his wife and was able to see through her skin to her skeleton and organs. Turner started to become withdrawn, and animals would react to him differently, and on one occasion he became the focal point of a cross-state chase after chasing an animal.
I need to know more about that. I know you haven't got it, but...
Sadly, Harry Turner is no longer with us. So Greybeard, with the evidence presented to you in such a compelling manner, I expect nothing but a resounding conclusion that this is aliens.
Turner is on Davy Jones' locker, my friend. I put my finger on the table as you were reading that to prompt me for a question that I had.
And you forgot what the question was?
I have forgot what the question was. It's just come back to me. It's gone. No, it's come back. Yeah, it's back. Imagine, and I'm sorry, this is a little bit crude, a little bit adult, if you will. Imagine you are in a lovely moment with someone doing the business.
And you start to see their bones and
you
organs.
start seeing through them. Does that kill the moment for you, or do you continue? That is a dilemma. You continue. Say no more.
So, you put that question to me, and you've said that I would continue. If I was, what are you doing? Is that killing the mood for you? Or are you continuing?
For me?
No guts, no glory.
You went there! He went there! Whoop, whoop! This was out of the police. I don't think I could. I'm sorry.
What if you closed your eyes? Do you think you'd still see?
Oh, you see your own insides. You can see your own brain. Well, if your eyes roll back that far.
But I mean, you'd close your eyes and you'd still just be seeing through your eyelids.
I can't do it. No, it's a good... I was trying to test there whether when I close my eyes, if they roll down at all, thinking that I'd be looking like through the floor. But
oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't tell if I'd be looking straight ahead, but you make a good point. If X-ray vision, do you see through one layer? Therefore, if I close my eyes, does that mean I'm seeing you as you are? So I just walk around with my eyes closed all the time, but be seeing absolutely perfectly because I'm seeing through my own eyelids?
Imagine that's how some blind people are actually getting around.
They're tricking us.
Yeah.
So when they open their eyes,
they're seeing everything.
This is probably deeply offensive to visually impaired people.
Oh, absolutely. Apologies.
But if you're a superhero, let us know. Is that how it works? Apologies.
So, conclusions on truck napping.
Did we do the
other one's coming up after?
Oh. God. I got caught in a lot of sidetracking there. Just trying to go over the details in my head. Bloke felt presence, went for a portal, fired his load. Shot his load, in fact.
Shot Steve.
Yeah, there's not really any evidence, is there, for that one? The clock said a different time, but there's nothing to back it up. And I need backing up.
There literally is no evidence other than his word.
Yeah, so I can't really get on board with that one, I'm afraid. Good fun, but no, I'm not saying it was aliens.
Okay, me neither. And it's time for science and skepticism from the bonus case. So how high can a car drop from and still be drivable? Well, there's no way to judge that without testing it, as all makes and models will differ with tyres, suspension and the like. And we don't exactly know how high it was dropped, so we have no definitive answer. So it could, scientifically, be possible.
Wow.
There was damage to the underside of the car, but nothing anywhere else, and no injuries to the passengers. Is this possible? Probably not, as we would assume there to be some kind of damage due to impact to either them or the car, whether that's windows shattering, or them knocking their heads against something, or knocking a body apart.
Yeah, good shout.
So there'd be bruising or something.
100%. If you dropped from a height, bang, you'll definitely get
a kind of whiplash as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But I was just going to say that, okay, you can't get an exact figure, but you could get a ballpark figure by taking the smallest car we have and the biggest car we have and dropping them from a height and seeing what the variation is.
Yeah. I don't feel that's something that's tested, though, in safety kind of measures. So.
Have you ever been in the crash test dummy factory?
No, but I'm pretty sure they're not dropping them from heights. So to summarise, this case, we have two teens that were chilling in the car until they were grabbed by what can be assumed to be a tractor beam of sorts and was pulling them up. They were released after being told not to be afraid, hit the ground from considerable height and then sped off. They told their parents, who called the cops. They dismissed it and then went to check and found the indents of the tyres. And that is all we have.
Yeah, as we've just covered, I would expect there to be further injuries to the people involved if they're dropped from a height. And again, sadly, not enough meat on the bone for me on this one. There just isn't enough evidence. Only $5,000 worth of damage? I'm expecting the car to be written off if you're dropping from a tractor beam.
But it's only $5,000 of damage underside of the car. So that could be suspension, tracking, tyres.
If you're falling from enough of a height to leave indents in the ground from your tyres...
You're dropping from a fucking...
Yeah, that's the way I'm feeling on it.
Yeah, same. I feel if this was a little bit more credible, there would be more. We would have the police report. We would have photos of the indentations.
There'd be blood and guts.
We'd have a photo of the car after the scene. The people inside would have whiplash or some kind of physical not scarring, but...
Well, there'd be injuries of some description, wouldn't there?
That's the word I was looking for, injury. So... Are you saying that this one is aliens?
I'm not saying that it was aliens.
Neither am I.
Sadly.
Well, thank you for joining us for this week's probe. If you're intrigued by ghosts, reincarnations, vampires, and or dick,
If you're intrigued by dick, check us out.
check out our Patreon on patreon.com/But It Was Aliens. Our other socials are Instagram at But It Was Aliens Podcast, Facebook at But It Was Aliens, and we also have our Facebook group Extraterrestrial Towers. There you will find like-minded souls and mummy memes. And last but not least,
Many mummy memes.
we are also on Twitter at But It Was Aliens. That's it from us today. As always, I have been the Walker of Moons, and he has been the Grey One.
Silver.
Remember, the truth is up there. #. P.S. No guts, no glory.